நான் அதை பாக்குறேன். ஏன்னா இப்ப வந்து என்னோட மீட்டிங் இருக்கு, அது மீட்டிங் முடிஞ்சோம். சரி, ஆமா ஆமா, வேக் சொல்யூஷன். ஓகேம்மா, ஓகே ஓகே, பார்த்து சொல்றேன், எடுத்து நான் டவுன்லோட் பண்ணி சொல்றேன். ஓகே, பாய். Good evening, Rajendra ji.
Good evening, sir. I hope I'm audible enough. Let me otherwise.
Yes, you're audible. You're audible.
Speaker actually. Hello.
Yes.
Is there any visible, audible difference between the present and the current voice? Or is it okay?
Perfectly all right.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Let's see if Lakshmi is joining for test sometime. One more thing actually. Rehan. Yeah, Rehan has already been the speaker previously, so he also should have the background thing anyways, the BSc background. But I will remind him. Today, I specifically invited all the teachers and professors and all those people in my contact. Let us see how many join out of them.
I have sent you, Rajendra ji, the brochure for the next DMT.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, she was in the school at this moment. So she said we will connect in the off-school hours. Maybe
we will discuss all those things afterwards. After February 15th, I will start the thing. A lot of people have asked.
Yeah.
Because next DMT is not 150 hours.
Okay, so how it is scheduled?
It's going to be 240 hours.
Oh.
4 days in a week, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because I realized one thing after doing this time, that lot more has to be given, then only they will feel very comfortable.
Acha, okay.
And I'm also thinking how I can accommodate this batch also to an extent so that all those things can go to them also.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
But I don't want you all to lose out.
I welcome you all for today's webinar. Today's topic is learnable moments, and which will be of interest to anybody who is interested in the learning and especially in the pandemic time through online learning mechanisms. We will begin today's program with the national prayer Vande Mataram. Please keep your audio muted, and if for any reason you couldn't rise for the prayer, I request those participants to mute your video, please.
मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां शस्य श्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्नां पुलकितयामिनी कुसुमिता द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् कोटि कोटि कण्ठ कलकल निनाद करले कोटि कोटि भुजै धृत कर करवाले अबलाज्ञनुमारत बोले बहुबलधारिणी नमामि कालिनी विपुदलवारिणी मातरं वन्दे मातरम् तुमि विद्या तुमि धर्म तुमि रिधि तुमि मर्मा त्वं हि प्राणाः शरीरे बाहुते तुमि मा शक्ति हृदये तुमि मा भक्ति तुम्हारी प्रतिमा गणि मंदिरे मंदिरे वन्दे मातरम् त्वं हि दुर्गा दश प्रहरण धारिणी कमला कमलदल विहारिणी वाणी विद्यादायिनी नमामि त्वां नमामि कमला ममला अतुला सुजलां सुफलां मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् श्यामलां सरलां सुस्मितां भूषितां धरणीं धरणीं मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्
भारत माता की जय।
Today's session is a part of the webinar series hosted by the participants of Diploma Master Trainer Program, conceptualized and delivered by Mr. Arun Subramanian. It is a pleasure to introduce him to all of you. Mr. Subramanian is a multifaceted individual with over 45 years of corporate experience and 30 years of which are as a business leader and entrepreneur. He is a very successful international master trainer whose programs are attended by participants across the globe. He is cognitive science expert specializing in trainings through implicit learning techniques, which are more suitable for the online platforms. He coaches, mentors, teachers as well as trainers across the globe to drive implicit learning. Looking into the need of the people to retrain, upskill and cross-skill because of the changing employment landscape caused by the pandemic, Mr. Arun started Train the Online Trainer Program, Diploma Master Trainer. We assemble here every day from Monday to Thursday for a presentation from one member of the DMT Batch 1, the Diploma Master Trainer Batch 1. I take this opportunity to invite Mr. Arun to say a few words about his vision for the future.
Thank you, Rajendra ji, for your introduction. It gives me great pleasure and honor to invite you all to the VAC Solution platform this evening. You see, it was in early 2020, that is around mid-February, that the pandemic hit the country. And by late March, by 24th of March, our Prime Minister announced a lockdown for 21 days, and this lockdown continued. As it progressed, life started sliding into fear, despair, and uncertainty. Locked at home, people were really becoming mentally ill from fear of death, fear of catching the COVID, and there were other fears too. Biggest fear among them was diminishing income. Companies had shut down. Many had laid off or furloughed their employees. And in many cases, the salaries were cut, disposable income was coming down. As income was coming down, safety was becoming another major issue. The safety of people, family members, near and dear ones. While this was happening, the job market and the world of commerce was changing. There was massive digitization of the industry. McKinsey Global Institute did a survey on the future of work after COVID. While the COVID was continuing, there was no end to the COVID. Still, they were talking after COVID, what will happen? And they found that there has to be massive adjustments to be made in the changing job market. In fact, friends, it would not be very wrong to say that there were only two hopes for mankind. Number one was the vaccine, which came. Vaccine was one hope, and the other was becoming an expert on the digital platform. Because the world was going digital. As it was going digital, as if to prove it right, all the leading universities in the world, all the leading publications and the industry started talking about how to interact and present on the digital platform that is on your online platform. Harvard Business School started talking about how to present data like a professional on the digital platform. It came out with what it takes to give a great presentation. Imagine a university like Harvard, which is #1 in the world in teaching business management to the world, was talking about presentation giving on the online platform. How to crush your next virtual presentation. You see, virtual presentation, communicating on the online platform had become by far the most important thing in the mind of everyone. Not to be left behind, Stanford came in with tips and techniques for confident and compelling presentation. Can you imagine? University like Harvard and Stanford talking about importance of presentation. They started giving, Stanford started distributing to its students insights from Stanford business on tips how to give effective presentation. If Harvard and Stanford come forward, do you think Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Sloan Kettering would have been far behind? 14 tips for your next virtual presentation is what MIT came out with. They started speaking how to make your, look at the bracket, now virtual, event shine. Because all events, all interaction was going virtual. Looking into all these things, we decided that India should not be far behind. And we came out with a top-class, world-shaking program called Diploma the Master Trainer. Diploma the Master Trainer is a program where we collaborate with the industry's top professionals to develop top-class trainers and presenters on the online platform. And this is our way of telling everyone that you are not alone. You are in a community which is, collaborating towards giving excellence, which is collaborating to show the world the importance of upskilling and reskilling during the pandemic. My dear friends, you have all come here on this platform today to see one such expert from the world of EduTech give a presentation on the online platform. Sit back and enjoy as one of the presenters of Diploma the Master Trainer Batch 1 is going to give a presentation. But always bear in mind that it is up to you to decide to upskill and reskill yourself and become one of those few early birds who have the first mover advantage and get ready to speed up to success. Sit back, relax, let the learning begin. Thank you, Rajendra.
Thank you, Arunji, for sharing your vision about the future and especially the importance of online training and how we could achieve that. Before we begin our main presentation, let us first listen to the experience of one of the youngest batchmates of our Diploma Master Trainer program and how the program has impacted him. Our impact speaker this evening has done MBA in marketing from Mumbai, and he has 6+ years of experience in the textile industry. Let us give a warm welcome to our impact speaker this evening, Mr. Mohammed Rehan Ansari. Over to you, Mr. Rehan. The stage is yours.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Before Diploma Master Trainer program, I was not aware about cognitive science, implicit learning, and how to present something in front of audience. But as the time goes by with Arun sir, the knowledge increases daily. I cannot express in words, but I can say that this course has played a significant role in my personal as well as professional life. Let me tell you something about this course. The beauty of this course, it has not only introduced me the world of training, but has also made me a very efficient professional in my work and the eye of my boss and colleagues as well. I'm now able to present my ideas effectively in my office, which has earned me a respect to everyone. It has made me more efficient in my career. And one of the most beauty of this course is breakout room activities, which gives a chance to think on a particular topic and then provide new learning from Arun sir. Team meetings ensures that we have understood the concept, particular topic, and this is the reason when I gave my first presentation on quality management with support of Arun sir and Vaid sir. I remembered during my practice session, Arun sir commented me, platform hila doge Rehan. So much improvement. You are doing excellent. That motivation also has played a significant role in my presentation, which was done successfully. And I got many appreciation from my belongings. Whoever has seen my presentation, they called me and say, amazing presentation. I was very happy to get those comments. And I also thank to Vaid sir, who supported making the PPT and making the script. And he has also connected with me to guide me about how to present effectively, right? So I heartily thank to both of them, Arun sir and Vaid sir. Lastly, I would like to thank all of the Diploma Master participants who have become like a family. And I learned from them also. I learned a lot. I cannot express those feelings in words. In short, Diploma Master Trainer has changed me and transformed my life. Now, I'm more confident about my career and future. So thanks a lot. Over to you, sir. Sabre, sir.
Wonderful, Rehan. Thank you for expressing your feelings in beautiful words.
Thanks, sir.
Now let us come to the main presentation today. Our resource person for today's presentation is an instructional designer and a facilitator for behavioral training and soft skills. She has 19 years of experience, with the first formative years on the corporate side, followed by 9 years in the educational domain, which is her passion. She has done post-graduation in training and development from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. She has a certificate in design and creative thinking in classrooms from National Institute of Design, the famous institute from Ahmedabad. She also holds a post-graduation diploma both in educational management and in global education. After a successful training career, she now leads the facilitation and instructional design head uh, uh, on the educational vertical at Orion Knowledge Solutions LLP, a training and consultancy firm in Mumbai. Her expertise being in designing customized instructional content. She is a frequent guest speaker for various specialized workshops and faculty development programs in the education sector. During the DMT assignments, she comes across as an outstanding visual thinker, and I'm sure this art will also reflect very prominently in today's session. Let us welcome with applause our today's learning and development specialist leader, Ms. Lakshmi Vaid, to provide insights about learning moments. Learning moments, Ms. Lakshmi Vaid.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. And I'm really humbled with your introduction, Mr. Sapre. I am also very thankful for the wonderful, encouraging words from my teammates. So with that, I begin today's presentation. So as we start, let's watch this small video. Sit back, relax, watch, but observe. So with that, how is this video connected to our training? That's your breakout room activity 1. And we're going to use the breakout rooms for the next 10 minutes. And what I want you to do is discuss, brainstorm, share, because the more we share, the more we learn. So Rajendra or Arunji, can we request you for breakout rooms? I think we have about 36. So
4 rooms, probably?
4 to 5 rooms, yes.
Okay, fine.
I have created 4 rooms. I've created
okay,
4 rooms. I'm opening it.
Okay.
It's open.
So this is for 10 minutes. Arun sir, are you there? It's approximately 12 minutes. So can we kind of send a message for closing of rooms?
Sapriji, I just got a text from Lakshmi. She had some network challenge. She's just logging back in.
Okay,
No
ma'am.
issue.
Okay.
No issue.
I
We can
think-
wait.
We'll wait for her to arrive.
Yes, no problem. No, she may take another 1 minute. No problem.
Just in case needed, we will go back to the same breakout rooms and continue the exercise if people need a time and she's not able to join in quickly.
Yeah, that is the plan B.
Oh, plan B, but she has very important role to play today. She is very most important person today. She must.
Master of the ceremony, Sab.
Huh?
Master of the ceremony.
Yeah, master of the ceremony. She is today princess of the show.
Let us admit her. Okay, she's already here.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's there?
fantastic.
She has joined?
Yeah, I think so. Unless, yeah, she's back.
Sorry. Yes,
Very good,
sorry
very-
for that.
No
Hey,
problem.
welcome back. No problem.
Great, great.
No problem.
So
Sal-
this was
salute.
actually making a grand entry back when the main
Yes,
room
you-
opens. Yes,
Gorgeous.
George.
great. So all of you, I'm sure, have had a very, very interesting time in this short breakout room. So let's
Yes.
begin. Room number 4. We'll give you about 2 to 3 minutes to share. Let's keep it as brief and precise as possible. Yes, room number 4.
Okay, let me check. I think we were number 4, but
Yes, we were
yeah,
separate.
just a moment. Yeah, just a moment. Huh? I will share my mind map. Where is it gone? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, today it was actually one of the toughest exercises, I think, to to catch up the similarities between the this video and this one. But what we have actually got some assorted thoughts here. First of all, any creation, I mean, both the training program as well as the painting, they require actually patience. It takes time to build good training as well as good painting. You have to start with a design of the right courseware. You need to have an eye on the outcome, and initial groundwork is necessary when nothing is visible, like what happened in the case of the video. We don't know what the person is actually doing. Okay, then the trainer has to have a dexterity. My spelling may be wrong. The trainer has to be skillful. Wrong stroke may mar the impact of the painting. So the trainer is more like a performance with appropriate knowledge as well as skills, and fully confident about like how he or she is going to drive the program. Then Pooja ma'am added some few points like it is actually any art is a matter of skill, actually, what to take away, what to retain, etc. So similarly, it happens in the case of the courseware design. There is a big picture and in the mind of the trainer, which actually ultimately results piece by piece, etc. And we start with an empty canvas, which we also kind of look at as the student. Actually, we will address that in a moment. Basically, we also tried to interpret the picture to some extent, like the tiger and the boy. It is more like a race, actually, which is a very tricky situation which the trainer has to actually handle. There has to be conceptual clarity while building that picture, and the right kind of process means actually the right kind of tools which a presenter actually is going to use as a trainer, and the right impact actually results out of the pressure for each stroke. So the skills, I mean, the tool also needs to be used with a certain amount of pressure or in a certain way to get the best results. The mind of the student is more like a canvas which we gauge initially. That's what the person was doing initially, and afterwards he begins his transformation exercise. Then there is a mind and heart coordination in imparting the right kind of a training. That's what we thought. A lot of practice is needed actually beforehand, before the presentation actually happens. There is a limited amount of time in which the such kind of a performance need to be done. That's what the same challenge the presenter also has. So a lot of practice and consistency and the time awareness, which actually results into a alertness, which drives into a zero defect performance as demonstrated by the artist over there. So we are done.
Wonderful. Room 4, this was very, very insightful. Especially, it made me think of the perspective of the boy and the tiger. Amazing. Apart from how you've come up with different points, whether it was patience, outcome, groundwork, canvas. I think you've covered the whole ground, whole new ground completely. Wonderful. Let's move to room number 1. I'm going by no such set order.
Okay. You want room number 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So we are 7 people in room, but unfortunately, 4 of them, they were late. They couldn't see the clipping, so they joined late. So 2 to 3 people were left. So our observation is, the gentleman, first he was leveling with a tool, that shows us during training period, the priming is of great importance. First, you have to attract the participants' attention, do the priming job through visualization learning. So he was thinking something and going to subconscious mind. So, and making the diagram, making the art also, same thing in training also, you have to reach to the subconscious mind. And through your mentally, you have to attract the participants. And he was the great discipline he was showing in a time constraint. He was making the blueprint of the photograph on a wall that shows the trainer should keep an eye on the time also, so that he has to be very disciplined and do the job in training. And there was a great passion and happiness on his face. Lot of confidence he was showing when he was making the picture. So the same thing in training also, the trainer should be, he should have a lot of practice, lot of homework before he lands in the training program, so that he performs in a nice way. Though he had a great skill, in making the art. So there was no any mistake or anything. Same thing about the training also. So you have to be very confident about your subject, whatever you are doing, and what your participant needed. Then there was a background music also. Background music was showing the great ambience and environment in his mind. It was coming and he was enjoying that music, and he was making the blueprint and the photograph on the wall also. And same thing at the training program also, wherever you should have your tools, your equipment, your environment in very healthy way, so that you perform and you deliver in a very, very nice way. Then thinking and transforming from the blueprints he was holding in the hand. Then saying, you see, he was not saying by thinking. So this is what we say. He was visualizing something, and then he was delivering the thing. He was giving the blueprint. Then there was a staircase. That means to reach our goals. So something is needed. So when he wants to go to a higher level, some mentor or something is definitely needed. Some staircases are lying. In case it is needed, he will take the help of that thing and cover the risk also. Thank you so much. This is from our group number 1. Thank you.
Group number 1, this is amazing, because again, the kind of details you have looked into, it was, I believe, a very, very, I'm feeling happy just listening to it. I'm getting that ambience, the way you've described music, you've described how the artist was enjoying. I enjoyed listening to your perspectives. So amazing, group 1. Let's move to group 3. What have they found out?
Thank you so much.
Sir, we are group number 3. I will share my screen.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, Lakshmi ji, your video was really a tough subject, as Mr. Sapre said it. We couldn't really just inculcate what you meant actually, but still we have just started out something. We had 2 guests by name, Mr. Krishna and Ponapan. Then we had Atulji, Bala, Subbaraju, and myself. Okay. So the first point what we came out is that was by Mr. Krishna. He said training is all about connecting the dots. So what we have observed is that initially the artist was just drawing a sketch, then later on he just developed it. So that's what pre-planning followed by execution. That's what we observed in that. Then one has to perform a lot of work to finish the desired task. vision with mission. That's what we felt. Then visual and experiential activity was there a lot. Then music in the background for a better learning. Then continuous learning process. That is all there for for the outcome of a well training. This is all required. That's what we felt.
Wonderful. I do see some other things written towards the end.
Bala will go ahead. Bala, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So to add on to the points, whatever resources were there, say for example, it's a plain wall and he has a ladder. So he knows how to use all the resources to ultimately reach the task or fulfill the task. A lot of activities to the learners for imparting the knowledge by many activities. He has listed all the activities. I think that's what people said as blueprint. He has drafted everything into an action. And in fact, whatever we have seen is he has thoroughly enjoyed whatever he was doing or drawing. So that is most important thing when it comes for a training, as a trainer or as a participant, whatever it may be. Here it is a trainer. So thank you, ma'am.
Wonderful. Shamji, you mentioned this was a difficult task, but with the kind of work that has come out from this room, I don't think it was difficult. So I can seriously say there was so much of thought that went into your room discussion, where vision and mission and all the, the big pictures were looked into. So again, a very different perspective. So when I'm more than enlightened to listen to all these insights. Great. So the last room now is room number 2.
Hi, I'm Mala, and on behalf of group number 2, I'll give what we discussed. I think all the other groups have pretty much covered. So I'm going to talk about topics which we didn't hear from the other groups. So as a group, we felt that it was a very engaging video. And what we can learn, and maybe a correlation with the trainings, could be that the visual aid itself was very captivating, even though nothing was being said, but the message was so clearly coming across to the audience. There was love and passion of the painter or the artist, which was very evident. And he was very clearly manifesting the outcome. And thus engaging the audience, and us as an audience, it was pretty engaged. So these are the things that we can do when the trainings, we design trainings, or that's the link that we build. And when we look at the picture itself, what the artist drew, there's Calvin, there's hopes, and eventually Calvin pushes hopes away. And what we as a group felt was that the training is all about enabling your trainees and thus helping them acquire new skills and eventually building their confidence to a level that they could take the journey solo. And that's eventually what happens in the picture that you see, that he's alone there. And from a design perspective, we could link the video to the training that, of course, there was clarity on what he wants to do. The objectives were pretty clear. And something outstanding was that he sketches what he wants to do before he actually prints it. So it kind of, your objective has to be clear. It has to be very specific. And another point was that he shows the tools that he's going to be using. So maybe it would be a good idea to also show tools that you would do in your trainings. How do you, So yeah, that's all what we discussed. So on behalf of group 2.
Group 2, very impressive, really impressive. Now that's another point of view. And this is beautiful because it spoke about love, it spoke about passion of the artist, how manifestations work. And end of it, how visibly he was able to express and reach the objective of what that piece of art was. There was a lot of clarity, and there was clarity in how you put it across as an insight from your room. So I think a huge round of applause for everyone. All the rooms did a great job. Now, let me tell you the behind the scenes. When I picked up this video, I really didn't know that this is going to lead to so many interpretations. And each one of them so beautiful and so relatable. Because when I went into each room, I thought, oh, this is the right, this is what is the video was all about. When I moved into the other room, I said, no, this is what the video was all about. So end of it, I did choose to stay in the main room. But now if I have to summarize what all the rooms have brought forward, I think one thing was clear. All of the rooms have brought about thinking, forms of thinking. They've all thought parallel, they've all thought visible, they've all thought convergent, divergent, all sorts of thinking came about. But end of it, how the video was related to your trainings. It was about the journey. So here I'm going back onto my presentation. So this whole video was about the journey of creating a masterpiece training. There needs to be a plan in place. Whenever we sit for a training, I know we have different stages when we start to prepare ourselves for a training. And it all starts with identifying the end goal in the beginning. Once you know the end goal or the finish line, the purpose or the objective, we are able to visualize exactly how the artist visualized his masterpiece. The next stage is when we are looking at designing that journey. We want to see what all goes along while we are going to be going on that journey. So while we go on that journey, we need something that is beautifully said by one of the rooms, the blueprint. And that's how. So we need to know the hows, the whats, the whens, the who alls, what all, and all of that. And that is when your roadmap needs to be in place. Once your roadmap is in place, you move to a stage where you're looking at implementation. You're going to use all your techniques, all your tricks, all your strategies, all your technologies. You're going to look at how your roadblocks, your challenges, and all that is going to come on the way of execution. Once you move from execution, you have a process in front of you. That process is to complete the wholesome picture of what the execution ends into. And that's the experience you have built, an experience of the training. Once the experience is done, we do look at, realigning ourselves, keep checking ourselves. Are we on track? Is there something? Have we missed something? Have we taken everybody on our journey? Are there learners who are left behind? Are there people who need extra things around with us? We keep on calibrating and checking. And that is where your monitoring comes into place. And the last, not the least, is the most critical part. Any guesses here? What could be the most critical part of a plan?
Seeking feedback, or that is already done as a part of monitoring?
Execution.
Motivation.
Outcome.
Create.
All right. So evaluation happens when we look back. That is when the artist takes a bow. He sits back. That's when he reflects. He looks at all the appreciation, takes them. He looks at what he has created, and then he looks at the insights that have come up. And that prepares him for the next level of excellence. So this is how a plan works. Now, I'm sure all of you have looked at this as a plan, right? Let's start from the start. So let's begin with something which is the learning outcome. What should be the learning outcome? This breakout room activity is going to be even more enjoyable than the previous one. And I'm sure there'll be more insights. There are going to be a lot more things that we can discuss and develop on. So can I request a breakout room for 30 minutes? And this, we are expecting, yes, we are expecting a lot of insights coming in here. Arun sir, can we request you for a breakout room for 30 minutes
Keep the
here?
same breakout rooms, or do you want to shuffle?
The same can be used. If it's a shuffle option is available, we don't mind. It will be a better perspective coming in.
Sorry, can you tell again?
If the shuffle option is available, we can go ahead with the shuffle.
Okay, we'll reshuffle.
Yes,
okay.
we will shuffle. Yes. Yes, Rajendra, I couldn't be the co-host.
Actually, Lakshmi, I cannot make you a co-host. I don't know what is happening. Let me call up.
So in the
Arun sir,
meantime, Arun sir.
do you want me to put in certain room for now?
Yeah. Put me in any room right now, then I'll just figure out.
Let me do that. Unassigned. Oh, you are already assigned actually. I don't know what is happening.
Okay, wait.
Can you join some room actually,
Yeah.
right? Okay, and you will call me if you. Meanwhile, I will check with him.
So welcome back. This time I did not make any grand entry while all of you returned. So there's a grand welcome here. Let's go back into debriefing and seeing how each room has, what was their experience of this question, the experience in the room, the experience about how they could funnel down their thoughts. So this time again, in no sequence, I'll just pick up a random order. We'll start with room number 3. Who represents room number 3?
Sujati Balaji will share the screen and I will go through the screen.
Just a minute, sir. I'm just sharing the
Oh,
screen.
no issue, no issue. Take your time.
Yeah.
Very good.
So, when a trainer is investing his time and energy in a training, he will have a lot of expectations. So he expects a lot of outcome from the training. So let us have a list of, we have created a list, big list of expectation of the trainee. Sujata Balaji, Rajendra Sapre, myself, Pannapan, Ajay Jha,
Indrajit, sir.
Pujaji, Indrajit. If I have missed some names, forgive me. So we all had a thorough brainstorm and we created this list. So I'll read out the list. First thing, trainee has acquired knowledge of the topic. He should learn something new. Trainee experience a great takeaway from the presentation. Training. The trainee is capable of usage of the skills elsewhere with great perfection. Means he may have certain skills, but during training, he wants to make it perfect and he wants to use somewhere else. Visualization is a greater pointer to acquiring the knowledge imparted by the trainer. Trainer gives one vision and trainer, after understanding, he will create his own vision of what he has learned. There is an awareness of the unknown area. Sometimes he comes with the thinking that I know, and in training, he will realize that here awareness is created that he doesn't know so many things. Relation between the trainer and trainee steers to transformation. The social presence the trainer makes with the trainee, it will create a transformation in the training. So, for learning outcome of this one is skills, knowledge, attitude, and behavior. In all these 4 areas, trainee should improve. Then only he can make progress after the training. They should help navigate the problem to giving solution during the training. Trainer should navigate to give solution to all the trainees. His all problems should be addressed and solved. Continual learning paves way for enhancement of the listening skill, because he's sitting and listening and understanding. Continuous process will unknowingly he will improve his listening skill. Building of confidence is another outcome of the great value. Means once the new knowledge is acquired, a person's confidence improves. On a philanthropic note, the trainer and trainee tend to develop a bonding, and among the trainees as well. He will, in the process of training, a trainer and trainee bondage will be developed. Building confidence is another outcome. That is a word, sorry. It's moving, I couldn't read. So, training builds a specialized vocabulary. Means so many things, it is my experience also. I didn't know about so many words like cognitive brain or implicit learning. Like this, so many words a trainee learns. The trainer as well as trainee identifies his or her core strength and develops the area of growth. First of all, trainee will be allowed to express his strength, and in other areas where he is weak, he grows. Elimination of inhibition or blockages acquired. So many times a trainee will have a lot of preconceived ideas and inhibitions, and there will be blockage in his thinking because the new knowledge is embedded in his brain. So many blockages and inhibitions he can overcome and improve in his life. Unlearn the obsolete and learn the required skills. So many times I know some skill which is of no use. When I learn during the training, this is of no use. It helps me to unlearn those unwanted obsolete skills and learn the skills required, new skills I can learn and improve. These are the 19 points we discussed. Thank you.
Wonderful. I'll reserve my comments here, but then I just would want to compliment the group and especially Narendraji for articulating it so well. The thoughts were so clear. There was a lot of clarity in the thoughts. Wonderful. And let's move to room number 4.
Thank you, Team 3.
Ma'am, I will share on behalf of room number 4. Yes, I think Tasneem ji will be in a position to help me. Tasneem ji?
Yes, I'm here, Bala.
Yeah.
Very good evening to all. I am representing our room number 4. We have gone ahead and divided the learning outcomes into 2. The learning outcomes from a trainer's perspective, and then we will present the learning outcomes from the trainee's perspective. So when we are talking about the trainer's perspective, all the points which are written over here, I would still like to go ahead and explain it in my my way, rather than just reading out for you. So when a trainer comes on the platform and he comes with his concept, he comes with his idea. So what is the new thing that he has as a concept that he is going to put forth in front of his trainee? That's the first outcome that we come, or that is the first thing that a trainer would want to see, that how he's going to give a new perspective to an idea or a concept. How strategic the planning is. I mean, the strategic planning comes from where the trainer wants to start and where does he want to lead his training, and how organized, in how such in a what kind of an organized manner he does it, so that he can reach to his final outcome. Have a blueprint. So when the trainer is doing or presenting his concept or idea, how well is he going to formulate it so that by the end of his training, he is able to give kind of a blueprint, like a footstep, where the trainee is immediately in action and ready to take his step-by-step progress and become the person that he wants to and reach his highest potential. As it said, are we driving implicit mode of learning? Now, this is one word which is our buzzword, implicit learning, which means, are we driving our trainees to go ahead and feel more inquisitive, to learn the subject or the topic more in detail, and also put it into implementation, to execute? So what is the end call of action that the trainer is going to put into his training? That comes with the blueprint that we spoke about. Imparting knowledge through trainer's expertise. So a trainer needs to really have the knack. It is as good as, right now I would like to give an example of feeding a baby. Like feeding a baby is really difficult. So it is something when the baby starts eating, the mothers or parents have to really try innovative ways to feed the baby so that he can start understanding the taste of food, other than just being, till the time he was just fed on milk. So how innovative is the trainee going to use it, a trainer going to make it with his expertise? Then the trainer himself will be able to evaluate when he finds it by the end of the presentation that there are people who are just like, ready, and they have their face glowed, and they are ready to take the action and the blueprint steps given by the trainer. And then there should be we got a very wonderful acronym from Krishna, and he said it should be plan with a purpose. It should be able to, the full form of plan. It should have a purpose, it should lead, it should have action and near-term objective. As far as the summary of a trainer's outcome is, what is like we said it, we looked at from the corporate point of view, that right now people look, the end result of the training is what is the output you are going to give. So that is what a trainer has to drive. What is the output he is going to give to the trainees?
Steenji, that's wonderful, but I would just want to put in a little word in paucity of time. You'll have to kind of summarize the second perspective.
I'll finish it fast.
Thank you.
Just the summarization of a trainee's perspective. The main important summarize for a trainee here is, he should be, when he's going for a training, if he first has to go with a completely clear slate, and here he does not have to know before he comes into the training session. And in the end, he should be all motivated to take the actions for the new learnings that he has had. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. Very systematic, a two-pronged approach to it, and amazing, amazing work done here in this room. Great. So let's move to room number 1. And after that, room number 2. And looking at the clock, it just reminds me we'll be a little crispier. Thank you.
Shilpa, I think we are room number 1.
Yes, ma'am. I have shared the screen. Can you see the screen, ma'am?
No, Shilpa, it's started. Yeah, we can. Go ahead, Shilpa.
Okay, I'll share it again. I thought that I have just a minute. Yeah, can you see it now?
Very much, very much.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am representing room number 1. It is a privilege to be here. Lakshmi ma'am, you're doing a great job. We really had very nice inputs coming from the entire team. So we had a cohesion. We had a lot of points coming up. So we've divided the entire outcome into tangible and intangible ones. So the first thing that came to us was that the outcome should be context-based. The participants should know what they are going for, and it should be it should actually fulfill the purpose. So under tangible, we thought the do's and don'ts that they need to know. They'll come to know after the learning has come out and the outcomes have come. The skills and knowledge, the process clarity should be defined, should be the outcome. The systems clarity should be the outcome. The role clarity can be one of the outcomes. The awareness of better options available can be one of the outcomes or the resultant. Then improving the success rate and alignment of the vision and mission of the company. The other, there can be some tools. What kind of a content has the trainer given to the trainee in the form of tools or templates, some workbooks, references, or the PDFs. Then under the intangible, we thought that the competence will be the outcome. What kind of a competence development has occurred. Then the pros and cons of any topic or subject that was taken into consideration. The knowledge of the resources and the availability of it. The cost and the benefit, are they upgrading it? The do's and don'ts, again, under the intangible factor also. The identification of the gaps and then the clearing out of those gaps. Then creativity and innovation should also be elevated after the training has happened. So as an outcome, the overall personality enhancement of the trainee, they can identify, analyze, and evaluate what kind of a training did they have and what effect did it have on them. The clarity of the goal for which the training happened, so that clarity has to come. So different people can have different implications to the same topic. So it is kind of an holistic development, or holistically goals should be achieved. The attitude development, the curiosity needs to be evoked. Reskilling and upskilling can also be one of the outcomes of a training program. The change in the behavior, are they more confident? Had they helped in their personality development? The profile of the trainee needs to be evaluated, and that profile needs to be enhanced. It should be time bound, and it should create a learning environment for everybody to feel interested in coming up for the training program. It's like, for example, it's a volley of programs scheduled by the company. So an environment should be created where the participants should be motivated to be a part of other programs also, so that they know what they're going to get from it. And some more points which we could not fit under both of them were, it needs to be actionable. Any kind of an outcome that has to be actionable, in the sense that any improvements or any measurable points. Nowadays, hybrid learning, like Mr. Arun, we are all moving towards a hybrid education of online and offline. So it is giving all kinds of learners an opportunity and experiential learning. So that is also an outcome for different learners. And the trainer should also be developed. He should also be equipped, and he should also know what went into him when he actually did the training program. So the trainer should also be motivated, should also feel upgraded of what he's done, and to feel enlightened that afterward, what I need to do more. So these were the points that we collated out of the entire process. All the team members actually contributed really well. So you can see it was a comprehensive approach to the entire program.
Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you so much. That was very impressive, very extensive. And I can, of course, see a lot of work has gone in by that room. Wonderful work.
The entire team. Thank you.
Great job. Kudos. So room number 2, that's the last room for today. So who is representing room number 2?
I am coming. We'll be very crisp because most of the points have already been covered. What we wrote. So I am going to, please, can you share the screen? The first point, I'll very brief. Not going through the list, but tell those points which are not mentioned. Once the art of implicit learning will improve. No chalk and talk. Trainer and trainee both will be learning through observation, through breakout room. These type of things, they will improve. And that will help them in their personal life also. Then they will improve their problem solving skills, and they will give better solutions. They know how to make blueprints, how to make architect, that is overview, and how to design the training program. This skill they will learn, and they will do better research. So when they are designing the program, they have to do a lot of research, and brevity they will learn that less is more. So you have to be very, very brief and to the point. This is one of the main points. We also, then authenticity. Once you are thorough in one area, you also, it also helps in other areas also. Then you also improve your leadership qualities and strategic function, that anything which is very difficult, which is long-sighted goal, that is strategic goals, your power to articulate or to have more planning, it will improve. Then what are your expected things and what are the actual things? That is, to start, you have to keep the end in mind. And then not the least, then your mindset to start with, it should be very strong. When your mindset is not healthy or positive, you cannot design any program in a better way. And for the learners also, for the trainers also, you have to go with very open mind and very broad mind. So these are some of the points. Then your relationship qualities. And when you are interested in, empathy or inclusive development, every teacher wants even the weaker student should also improve. And your relationship in the society also, you improve these things also. And you become self-independent by learning all the tools, whatever they are coming and upskilling from day to day, like we are learning these things, there's LinkedIn or Canva or whatever, Audacity or making and auditing video. And it doesn't help in your training or as a training also, but it is also helping outside in general way also it is helping. And thirst for knowledge, it increases to quench your thirst. You want to learn more and more. Rest points are all, like your listening skills also improves. So these are all same thing. I'm not going touching those points. Thank you very much, Lakshmi ji. This is from group number 2. God bless you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Group number 2, there are a few points that were very beautifully put across. And the rest of it, of course, we can see a lot of work happening in those rooms. So looking at learning, now while sitting here and listening to all of you, I wanted to understand there is a very, very slight hairline difference between the two words, the learning outcomes and the learning objectives. If anybody is quick to share, we can just take one response on that.
Can you repeat, please?
What could be the difference between a learning outcome and a learning objective?
Objectives is what gets the learning started, and outcomes is supposed to be measured at the end of the learning.
Perfect, Akash. You are way on track. Anil, with just one response we are taking here. Okay. I'm going to share a quick 20-second recipe of a Maggie. When you want to make a bowl of Maggie, the objective is to make Maggie. But when you make Maggie, what comes in that bowl is the outcome. So while we were discussing all this in the rooms, how should the outcome be? The outcome has to have a very beautiful, of course, there were two folds to it. There was a trainer perspective, there is a trainee perspective. And apart from that, we also know an outcome needs to be very, very concise. Some rooms have beautifully brought out that, where as I said, I would reserve my thoughts. Some takeaways were that they were learning new skills. That should be the outcome. There were skills, there was knowledge, there's attitude, there's behavior change, transferring of knowledge from one room to, from one skill to another, from one situation to another. Somebody spoke about a mindset. Somebody spoke about acronyms that they had built up for learning outcomes. I think commendable job was done by room 4, where there was a beautiful perspective brought in, which was a trainer and a trainee perspective. And that is where I would want to put up that learning outcome is like a compass and is like a map. Compass for the instructor who's giving the the training. And when I say it's a compass, then it kind of guides you what to do, where to go, what is the content, what are the strategies, what is the assessment strategy you're going to use, what are the critical components, what is purposeful and meaningful for that training. And when I say it's a map for the learner, as a learner, it is giving the new information. And the map, the way a map gives a new information, this is giving you new information, which has to be in a very relatable form, where the learner should be able to relate to that information, pick it up from experience, connect it back, and should have a future relevance. A learner sees a journey with that learning outcome. And in a nutshell, these are learnable moments. This is where a learning is happening both for the instructor and the learner. Now, the beauty of the whole thing is we know what is a learning objective. We don't know what's a learning outcome, but do we know how to make a learning outcome? How do we design a learning outcome for a training session? What is it that goes into designing a learning outcome? So I have just kind of collated this as a very simple model. First of all, the learning outcome just needs to be in that one simple statement, a statement that has 4 parts, where it covers the audience, it covers the behavior. So when I'm saying audience, it talks about who is the learner here. Who is the participant here? When it talks about behavior, what is expected end of the training? Are you going to look at a training that is working on a knowledge domain? Is it a training that is going on skill-based? Or is it that will make a change in the attitude? And when we look at all these 3 things, these knowledge, skills, and attitude, all of them put together become the competence of the person or the competence of the learner. So how is your training? What is that outcome that you're designing, which impacts the behavior of the participant? The third aspect is the context. In what context are you designing your outcome? Is it a functional place? Is it a shop floor? Is it a design? Is it for a... So what is that space or the canvas in which the training will be applied? And the last is the degree. Now here by degree means what extent or what proficiency level will be achieved once the training is done. So when we are designing an outcome, it should be such that it fulfills all these things and of course builds the competencies. Now, I just have this one statement which was for a communication, a communication workshop. This was the learning outcome. Looking at the model that we've just done, A, B, C, D, can anybody annotate and identify the A, B, C, D of this learning outcome? Annotation is allowed by the participants. So I would not want everybody to annotate. Maybe 2 people can just identify. If not, we can pick up a volunteer. Anybody who wants to volunteer here? Anybody who wants to attempt the model of identifying?
Lakshmi, I can.
Something value-added.
All right. So Suma, you see a statement here, which is the learning outcome. Can you identify the audience or the A aspect of the model here?
Participants.
Participants is the A part of them. Wonderful. What is the B or the behavior that is as the outcome that you will see after the training?
Will be able to explain.
Explain. So it's definitely a knowledge domain. What is the context?
Professional etiquette.
Yes, it's a communication training. Professional etiquette is the context. And what is the degree or the extent of proficiency that you're looking at?
Communication.
Examples they can state.
Yes, they will be able to state 3 examples. So this is how a learning outcome is designed. So with this ABCD model, I am just 10 minutes away from closing my session. But here I would want all of you to keep putting in the chat box, what were your learnable moments till now? But the second part is really interesting. I'm just going to stop the share so that I can see. All right. So I'm quickly going to spend a minute here. We have learning outcome versus learning objectives as a learnable moment. What are the things that have gone into this training, which has caused some excitement and made a learnable moment for you? Outcome is also a trainer's perspective. Very good. Listening skill is improved. Expected versus actual. Differentiate outcomes and objectives. The compass and the map analogy. Great. So as we have these pouring in, I've always wished for trainings to be fun. And they can be a lot of fun. And a lot of fun is when you have the responsibility to take the outcomes in your hand. When you know really what you want out of your trainings can be a huge lot of fun. I'm going to take you through this very cute video, one of my personal favorites. And this is a trailer from Home Alone. Again, sit back, watch, and observe.
Lakshmi ma'am, audio.
No sound, Shilpa. No sound, Lakshmi.
Where are you going? We're gonna miss the plane!
When the McAllister family left on their Christmas vacation,
Did we miss the flight? No, you just made it. Yeah!
they forgot one small thing.
Have yourself
I've a terrible feeling. Did you lock up?
Let yourself be light.
Do we set the timers on the lights?
Mm-hmm. What else could we be forgetting?
Our troubles will be ours.
Kevin!
Home Alone.
Viva Nugget!
Police in the northern suburbs are on the lookout for a pair of burglars who are calling themselves the Wet Bandits.
We know that you're in there.
It's Santa Claus and his elf.
Get off my property.
This is my house. I have to defend it.
Where's your mother?
My mom's in the car.
Where's your father?
He's at work.
What about your brothers and sisters?
I'm an only child.
Where do you live?
Can't tell you that.
Why not?
Because you're a stranger.
He's a kid. I mean, what can a kid do to us? Kids are stupid. I know I was.
You still are, Marv.
This is it.
I don't care if I have to get out on your runway and hitchhike. I am going to get home to my son.
Yes!
Where are you, you little creep?
I'm gonna kill that kid!
Why'd you take your shoes off?
Why are you dressed like a chicken?
Gus Polinski, polka king of the Midwest. If you have to get to Chicago, we'll gladly drive you.
Hey, guys.
Yesterday, he was just a kid. But tonight, he's a home security system.
You guys give up or you're thirsty for more?
From John Hughes.
You know, I got a feeling this is going to be your best Christmas ever.
A family comedy without the family. Home Alone.
Are you here all alone?
I'm 8 years old. You think I'd be here alone? I don't think so.
Directed by Chris Columbus, coming November 16th.
Most of you watched this movie, right? I've enjoyed the trailer thoroughly, and more than the movie, of course, it's a repeat for my Netflix. But when we look at this movie, there is one thing which is very pertinent and which always I get reminded of, that when I do a training, there is fun. There is everything that you're looking at. But this movie also has a beautiful learnable moment for us. And that learnable moment is that come what may, are we evaluating? Are we taking a bow? Are we taking appreciation, compliments, insights, reflections, all of that, and evaluating our trainings? So we go, we do a training and come back. So let me show you one of the evaluation models, though there are lots of them available, but one evaluation model which really works well. So here, there are 4 levels of evaluation of a training. The first level is the reaction. Did you see the trailer? All of them were at the airport. All of them were feeling good, excited, looking forward. They were all that you would call in a training's language, the smiley sheets. Most of the trainings evaluate and get evaluated only at the reaction level. And the reaction level is nothing but just the impulsive feelings that pour in. So this is where your double thumbs up go in. This is where all the smileys happen. This is where the part of the movie which you saw, the trailer, everybody leaving for the airport, there was excitement, there was buzz, there was happy, everybody was happy and smiling. So that's just the level 1 of evaluating a training. But when you move from level 1 to level 2, that is where learning happens. In the movie trailer, where do you think learning happened? Anybody?
I think for the burglars, when they underestimated the child and thought, what will he do?
All right, that's also an aspect of the learning. But if I go in a sequence, the minute the father and the mother sat down in the airplane and they realized there was a huge checklist they were looking at. They were looking at recalling all the duty list, all the chores, all the work that was supposed to be done, all the knowledge that they had. Have you done this? Have you done that? Have you done this? That is when the actual recall of knowledge, or that was just a knowledge domain. And immediately after that, there was a moment of realization that whatever the knowledge, whatever all of that still needs to be transferred into behavior. So this is the level 3. Most of the evaluation of trainings that happen in level 2 or the learning happens in a very checklist form. You will have questions, a pre and a post assessments done before a training, after a training. You will have questionnaires. You will have a very systematic way of assessing learning. But what are you assessing there? You're just assessing the knowledge domain. I may just ask you, do you know the definition of a learning outcome? So that is a learning level. That is only a level 2 that I'm doing with you. The third level is the behavior. And level 3 behavior, if you see the boy himself, when he was left alone, he did everything that was available in his bag, all the tricks, all the mischief to keep the burglars away. What did he do? He transferred that learning into behavior and had the competence to actually fight those burglars. If not fight them, at least keep them at bay for quite some time. This is the third level. And third level is where actually skills become your doing actions. So your behavior, this is observable level of evaluating your training. So if you see from reactions to learnings to behavior, the transition from reaction to learning, do you think it's easy or difficult? When you evaluate a training, your trainees have moved from a reaction level where they've just found the training very interesting, very informative, very good, to a level where they picked up a few facts, a few figures here and there, and they've kicked their knowledge domain. That transition is not difficult. Then where is the game? The big game is the learning getting transferred into behavior. When you are moving from level 2 to level 3, that is where the transfer of knowledge is where the evaluation will determine the success of your training. And in a training context, behavior can only be observed in the organization, in situ. So when you do a training, a standalone training will be a good level 1. A standalone with follow-ups will be good level 2. But a standalone with follow-ups up to behavior, to see those visible behaviors in the trainee, is level 3. And level 4, of course, is the results. Here in the movie, the level 4 is left to the part where father and mother would come back and assess their loss, assess their gains, reflect, look at the next time. Basically, they will look at the results of this and look at, in an organizational context, the owner or the organization will look at results in terms of return on investments, your ROIs. So we are not bothered about level 4, but it trickles from 4, 3, 2, 1. If they see some value in the returns on investment, that is where your training will kick in. So level 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, this is one of the models. Of course, there have been a lot of other models of evaluation that have been picked up. But ultimately, till you do not evaluate your program or your training session, you are not moving either your trainees from the learning to behavior sessions, or you're not moving yourself. Your competence to excellence will lie how beautifully you are able to transit your learners from each level to the next level. With that, this was Learnable Moments Part 1. Thank you.
Fantastic program, Lakshmi. It was amazing. You really summed up the whole thing beautifully.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I think we got time, another 5 minutes before the next our DMT program starts. So I think you can definitely take a question. If anyone has just one question, please, if you don't mind.
Surely. Most welcome. Anybody who has a question? You can all sit back and reflect what are the learnable moments that you've created. I have created a lot of them in today's session itself.
If you don't have a question, at least if anyone has any compliments for Lakshmi ji, I think that would also be most welcome.
Lakshmi, you're an EdTech expert and you brought out that simplicity using all the techniques and made us learning outcomes, objectives, and whatnot. Made us immerse ourselves in the program. Yeah. Thank you so much. I have posted, in the group, I just now posted that it's how do you involve people that makes a better leader. That's what you have done. You're a creative leader. And you have valued everyone's input. Amazing, amazing. Gripping session.
Thank you so much.
Expected, yeah, Lakshmi.
Very well done, Madam Lakshmi ji. You have brought out a supposedly dense subject in a light way with very good apt videos. You have connected it in the theme very nicely. Thank you so much.
totally engaging session. Everybody enjoyed. Thank you so much. God bless. Thank you. Very good. Very good.
Thank you,
implicit learning. A lot of implicit learning happened. Lot of implicit learning happened in the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Lakshmi, a wonderful session. We are enjoyed, and so everybody is involved and participated in a great way. So it's a wonderful section, and thanks a lot, ma'am.
Most welcome. Thank you so much for making it a very participative and very interactive session. Without all of you, I think the platform was bland. Thank you.
Lakshmi ji, really awesome session. Huh? Mind-boggling. There's nothing to say because I run out of words to describe you. Awesome.
Thank you, Shamji. Thank you so much.
Learned a lot, madam. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, Rehan. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a outstanding, an excellent session today.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Can I close it?
Outstanding, ma'am.
Next session, link is same or different? Different link, no?
The link has already been posted in Diploma the Master Trainer and also sent to you in your personal chat window, if I'm not mistaken. Please join. You got approximately 2 minutes to do that.
So we can have a cup of tea, sir. 5 minutes, give us 5 minutes. Okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, anyway, I will be joining. I will wait there for you. You join at your convenience.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
okay.
you. No, okay. We don't want to.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone, for joining in. And we will meet again tomorrow on another program from Diploma the Master Trainer Participant.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good night.